Trinamool Congress has met with strong opposition in Kolkata and protests across the country as well. Joining us live now from Kolkata is my colleague Manogya Loiwal. Joining us from Delhi is Maha Siddiqui. Pratibha Raman joins us from Bangalore. I want to come to you first, Manogya, because Kolkata is really where the epicenter of all the protests are. Angry students, teachers, common people took the streets today morning and said, we've had enough of these bloody clashes from both sides. We want to be kept out of it. What are the people around you saying?
It's a shameful day for presidency, for a day that they would never forget, and perhaps a day that they would not like to add to the history of this esteemed college that has brought so much of disrepute to an institute of international repute. Let's talk to the students here on what do they think. What do you feel about this whole incident and how shocked are you?
Just I want to ask one question. When the elections were happening, 1 week before the election was postponed just because it provoked violence, campus violence, and it was postponed for 6 months. But today what happened, it was a general day, no elections were happening, but still there was violence in the campus. So I don't find any reason why they have postponed our election for 6 months.
Postponing of elections, does it come also with a lot of politics that happens in Bengal, and especially presidency that has given rise and has been the home and the mentor to so many leading politicians of the country?
Exactly, that's why it seems a little strange that people who got their basic training in politics in our college, they go on to become leaders, and then they speak ill about college politics. This is where their starting ground was. And to reiterate what you said, this wasn't a shameful day for Presidency College, it was a shameful day for the state, that a college like ours was subject to what it was yesterday. So the shame was on the state and not on the institution.
Not on the institution, but do you feel that this institute doesn't have a Trinamool Congress union? So that might be the reason why such a kind of invasion into the college?
See, the Trinamool Congress student body people have time and time again tried to come inside our campus and influence our students and somehow set up a unit here, but they've been unable to do so because we do not like their politics and we don't believe in their ideology. The day after Mamata Banerjee came into power as the Chief Minister of West Bengal, she said that I'm going to eliminate student politics gradually from this state and I'm starting with presidency. The next day I come to college and I see a board lying down somewhere there and it's written, join TMCP, Trinamool Chhatra Parishad, and be a part of the change. I mean, what kind of hypocritical behavior is this?
Is it all about hypocrisy, or do you feel that this should now come to an end somehow?
Of course, it is about hypocrisy. I mean, Brata Bosu says that if you hold up a TMCP flag, it doesn't make you TMCP. I'm not a member of the Communist Party of India, but if I held up a CPIM flag and broke Brata Bosu's face, he would tag me as CPIM. TMCP needs to understand something, that each of their members, if they want to get into presidency university, they have to crack the entrance test. They cannot break the gate and enter into presidency.
Well, that's a big statement, and how difficult and easy will it be now?
I have one very important question, and that is that even if we accept what the Trinamool said, that the goons who entered want Trinamool, then why was the police on standby? Why didn't the police do anything then?
Well, that's a big question and a very important question. What and why was the police not acting when they were standing here, and what were they actually waiting for till the time the ruckus was over?
Well, thank you, Manogya. Well, let me go across to Maha Siddiqui now, who joins us from Delhi. Maha, there have been expressions of solidarity and support from the student community across the country, and Delhi is in many ways a hub of student political activism. What do the students where you're at have to say about this blatant hooliganism by political goons?
In fact, Rukmini, I'm at JNU and it's the hub of left-centric politics. The students' politics here has by and large been very healthy, but even in JNU, we have seen sporadic violence here and there once in a while. But the students here have very strong views about what we've seen at Presidency College in Kolkata. Pratyush, violence is something that students do not want to associate with now as far as politics is concerned. What kinds of politics are you all looking at?
When you look at the country's population, half of the people are politically unconscious, or politics is basically inherited. To bring them to consciousness, you need youth awareness. And today when corruption is at its peak, youth has sufficient reasons to get aggressive. But it doesn't always start with a violent protest as you are naming it. A girl is gang raped in the Delhi bus. No one goes and starts throwing stones at the parliament or the police headquarters. 20,000 people, they light a candle, gather at India Gate.
Pratyush, we've seen violent protests yesterday at Presidency College. It's a prestigious college. Women there were threatened with rape. What do you have to say about that?
I would rather blame what happened in the past, like a few days back. What happened? The state murdered an activist who was protesting, and he had all his rights to protest. What happened was he was brutally murdered by the police, and the case has been distorted completely. Everyone knows. People were there. You have witnesses. They know that someone was murdered brutally by the police. And the state completely negates it, which is very disappointing.
All right, so let me put that question to Deeksha. Deeksha again has very strong views about that. Deeksha, do you believe that when there is injustice, people have sufficient reason to protest, but that shouldn't become violent?
I agree with you, probably should not become violent, but sometimes the state does not give you the space. You know, it even right now, the point was that all student organizations need to get together and fight for justice for Sudipto. You're talking about a 22-year-old boy murdered by the state, murdered by the police. Instead of doing an inquiry, you're talking about a state which is not taking responsibility for a murder of a student. Are you saying that we do not even have the right to protest? You are killing student politics. You do not want it to happen. My question is to the state that why are you so scared? What are you so scared of? That let us protest, whether it's the gang rape or whether it's students protesting in Calcutta. What is your problem? And what do you mean when a policeman murders a student? It's about a right to protest.
But how is it that violence seeps into students' politics, Anas?
एक तरीके से देखा जाए तो जो कुछ भी हो रहा है उसमें मतलब सरकार कहीं ना कहीं जिम्मेदार है। सरकार की जिम्मेदारी बढ़ जाती है और इस तरीके से एक तरीके से आरोप लगाना कि हाँ इसमें मतलब स्टूडेंट पॉलिटिक्स कहीं ना कहीं वायलेंट हो रही है, तो मुझे नहीं लगता है। जब हम लगातार चिल्लाते हैं, लगातार हम धरना प्रदर्शन करते हैं तो हमारी कोई नहीं सुनता है, लेकिन जब कभी थोड़ा बहुत हमारे हाथों से चीजें निकल जाती हैं तो उस पर लगातार हम पे आरोप लगाया जाता है। तो पूरी तरीके से मतलब सरकार की जिम्मेदारी बनती है इन सब चीजों में कि वो किस तरह से चीजों को संभाले।
All right, so Rukmini, views are very clear here. Nobody really wants to get violent, but students also want to be heard.